today is gonna be my first video, well, first technically video. So let's start off. The first video I'm doing is going to be what if Deku was Mono from Little Nightmares. So yeah, Deku will look like this. Like he will be wearing this and look like this. So for right now, let's get into the backstory of Mono Deku, but I'm gonna call him Deku because it's more, I'm gonna remember that easier. So yeah, Inko died. She died car crash. Asashi pulled that Black Dad and disappeared. So now Mono's living in a forest. And everything. Okay. So I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. So he's living in a forest right now. Right now he's living in a forest. And it is the Wild Wild Pussycat Forest. And if y'all don't know where I'm going with this, you're gonna find out pretty soon. So and Coda has not been born yet. Because this is before Coda was born. So no. So Deku's just been living in the forest for a couple of years now. He's about 6 now. And so one day when he was foraging for food for him to feed himself, I think her name was Mandalay. Yeah, Mandalay. Or was it Pixie Bob? Let's just say it was Pixie Bob. She was doing, her patrol around checking the camp just to be safe about not having stuff people. So while she was checking, she ended up seeing Mono or Deku. And so when she sees Deku, she asks him what is he doing in this forest. Okay. Oh, and Deku won't be able to speak in this one. He won't be able to speak, so he can't really say anything because he don't know how to say anything for right now. Sorry about that. A cup just fell off my counter. If y'all don't know, this is not gonna be. None of my videos are gonna be scripted, so it's just gonna be coming off the top of my head. Okay. Since Deku don't know how to talk, he mentally asking him questions, but him not know how to say anything, he can't answer her. And then she asks if he can actually say anything, and he nods, yes. She asks him if he has any parents, he nods no. And she asks him to come to follow her, he does. Now they going back to camp with Ragdoll, Pixie Bob, Mandalay, and Tiger was his name. So now so let's do a time skip right here. It's been I say it was 6, right? it's been 4 years. Okay, and he's just been living at the camp with wild wild pussycats, and he's 10 now, and he done learn how to say and talk stuff. Now, here's where stuff gets interesting, because we are about to meet the ship for this one. Sorry about that. I had to find the picture I was looking for. Yes. And if y'all don't know who this is Sasha. Sasha 6. And now, Deku, or Mono, whichever one y'all want, y'all call him. I'm gonna call him, I'm gonna say Mono, since it's much easier for me to remember. So Mono, it does live with the wild pussycats, but he still does go. Oh, what the heck is going on here? Let me, uh, let me. Okay, I lost that picture, but we're just gonna do this one, even though she won't have the raincoat. She'll just have a long gray dress for right now, cause the raincoat coming, and Mono is not gonna wear his bag. Let me get a picture of what Mono is gonna be wearing. So I couldn't find the hat I was looking for. So Mono's just not gonna wear the bag, because even though I love Mono and his bagginess, he looks weird with that bag on. So he's gonna be wearing this. Now let's get back into the story. So Mono is just, he does go back. He goes back in the forest and spends time in the forest, because even though now he lives in the camp, he still likes to go and mess around in the forest and do him. So one day when he went back in the forest to go and do his normal things as he do in the forest, he finds he goes and finds six. He finds six running, and there is the hunter, which I don't really care enough to give him a picture. So just think of a guy with a bear-like sack on with a gun. That's literally what he is. So Mono uses his, well, yeah. Well, Deku does know he has a quirk, and he does use it sometimes. Oh, the wild pussycats don't know his quirk has developed yet, because he didn't tell them, because he just doesn't care enough to tell them. So he used his warp ability, and let me take a minute to explain to you what he can do. So he can use the teleport through TVs. He can use another teleporting if he doesn't have a TV around. It's like it's a warp ability, and it's kind of like what was that thing called? The thing that Obito did in Naruto, where he teleported them. I don't know what that is. Truth-seeking um pole. I don't know what that pole was called, but yeah, it kind of looks like that, like he just whirled in on himself. That's one. That's two of the abilities right there that he can use for mobility. Um, he can use his static form, which is pretty much him going to a black staticky form where he can hit things, but things cannot hit him, and he can throw static projectiles, which is think of TV static and like a beam. That's what that is. And hmm, he has his what? Oh yeah, he can simultaneously spawn. Let me see, a hammer, a frying pan, a crowbar, and a pole out of thin air. If you don't know that reference, then you haven't played Little Nightmares. But still, and that is going over his power. That's pretty much all he can do for right now. I'm making him hella overpowered in the future. He gonna be hella overpowered. So, right now, he, so, my, why is my brain acting like this? So he used warp to warp him towards where he heard the yelling, and then once he seen and saw what was going on, he jumped up like directly in front of where the moon would be if Six and the Hunter was looking at the moon, and shot his static spears. He also has he can manipulate this static into different shapes. He shoots static spears at the man. And the thing about Mono's attacks, if they impale you, you turn into a shadow static that he can absorb and gain power from. I should really went over these things before this is not gone. Well, I didn't even have this planned, so y'all cannot blame me for this. If it's unorganized, it's unorganized. So after you save Six, he takes her back to the Wild Wild Pussycats and explains what happened to Pixie Bob, because he has a closer connection with Pixie Bob than Mandalay, and him and Ragdoll are just very close friends. Him and Tiger don't really get along per se. I mean, they can hang out together if they really wanted to, but in terms of them like spending every day with each other, nah, that ain't gonna happen. But anyway, back to the story. We're gonna do a time skip to 4 years, no, 5 years. I said he was 10, now he's 15. And now we're getting into he he didn't go to well he didn't really go to the middle school. He was pretty much just taught by Nezu everything he needed to know. So him and Nezu are close. He knows that Zelda and everything. So what's it? Oh yeah. Hold up, guys. I'm still trying to get my bearings down for this. Now it is time for the entrance exams. So if you don't know, oh yeah, 6 has a quirk. She has shadow manipulation, and she is really fucking. And she has a big ass appetite. That's literally her powers. And what is this? Okay, I like that picture. I'm gonna keep it that picture now. And so for the written part of the test, Mono and 6 ace that bitch. I mean, they got 122% correction. Yeah, they really smart in this one. Cause I don't have any stupid or dense dekus. So then they go into the orientation. President Mike is, explaining 1-pointer, 2-pointer, 3-pointer. When Ida gets up and do his thing, just really like do his thing about the 0-pointer, and then he said, because Mile and 6 are dating, and they are the same age. So 6 was sitting on Miles' lap, and Ida had something to say about it. Cause I'm not good with words and shit like that. I do not do English right. But he was like, he was basically complaining about what they was doing, saying it's not very important. And they said, well, Mono said, well, firstly, we're not doing anything inappropriate. She just sitting on my lap. Firstly. Second of all, he was about to explain the 0-pointer before you start babbling. Third, shut the fuck up and mind your own business. And Ida is pissed beyond belief. Oh yeah, in all my videos, Ida is pretty much gonna be a bitch. And I'm probably gonna fuck him over, cause I just don't like Ida. So yeah, if y'all don't like that, fuck y'all. I don't really care. So yeah, President Mike goes on to explain the 0-pointer and tells him it's just an obstacle. Now we get to the test site, and Mono and 6 are not in the same test site, just because I'm about to do some shit that's gonna piss y'all off, because I am about to pull the worst move ever. So Mono doesn't do anything that'll make Ida try to stop him, cause and then then the gates start open. Well, he didn't do anything for Ida to try to commend him about, cause what Deku is doing is just standing at the front, waiting for the gate to open. And again, when the gate opens, Mono warps inside the testing field, and then just start throwing static spears, static bullets, warping robots into each other, turn them into shadows to absorb to blast at other robots. And it's been about like 30 minutes right now, and he has racked up about 500 points. Another 10 minutes go by, he had 700 points. And then the 0 pointers come in. Rocket doesn't get stuck on the rubble, and Mono decides to take out his 0 pointer because he don't really, he just wanted to show off. So he warps inside of it, and then does a static explosion, which basically him just basically a final shine with just a white and black static. That's literally what it is, to destroy his. But then he hears 6 yells, and then he just warps directly to her, and he picks up her, puts her on his back, and now what I'm about to do is some stupid shit. I said he can manipulate static in any way he wants. So what this guy does, he makes a spirit bomb out of his static energy, and yeets it at that 0 pointer. And when I say yeets it, he yeets it. And that spirit bomb was like, it took him 5 minutes to do it. And so, like, it's about 130 feet high and 672 feet long. He yeeted. I not have to do all that math, so y'all can do that. But he's gonna be, he is already overpowered as fuck. So yeah, then Deku just warps away. Now, that is gonna be the end of this video. So, bye guys, bye my little dragon cubs, and I will see y'all next time.